What's good, y'all? It's your girl Ari. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to come on here because I wanted to do something a little different than our usual regular everyday content. And Quickly is not here. It's just me. But I wanted to start doing like story times just because I be having like all these crazy, funny stories that I be wanting to tell people, and I feel like it's time to share the tea with y'all. Cause I know y'all some nosy motherfuckers, so I know y'all wanna hear it. But I'm gonna try not to make it too long. But let's go ahead and get into it. So this story is about the time that I got to fighting for the first time. Yeah, I'm not even a fighter, y'all. But anyways, this was like 4 years ago, back in 2020, and I was working with this chick, and the girl, I already knew the girl, and cause we had went to school together in high school. So we didn't really start talking until after she started working with me. So a few months go by. One day she had invited me to go on her birthday trip at the end of March with her to go to Panama with her family, like her whole family. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm down. Whatever. So then I think we planned to be down there for like 4 days. Um so time comes around and we gonna call old girl, we gonna call her Mimi. We gonna call her Mimi. So me, Mimi, and Mimi's little sister, we gonna call her TT. And TT's friend, we gonna call her D. So we all had rode together and everybody else rode in their separate cars. So we got down there, everything going straight. So that first day, it was kind of late when we had got down there. So we had ended up just going to get something to eat, and I think we just went back to the condo and we was just drinking because everybody was kind of tired anyways. So the first day we didn't really do too much. So then that next morning came around, everybody up, we put on our clothes and stuff and go get ready to get something to eat. So we left and we went to go and get something to eat. And after that, trying to think, is that the same? Yeah. So this same day, me and the three other girls, her sister, my friend, and the other girlfriend. So we had all decided that we wanted to rent out a golf cart. So it was us four plus like three or four of her other cousins and brothers. It was a lot of us. So when we got to the place, they was telling us how they needed somebody to show proof of their ID and insurance for their car. So out of all of us, Mimi, which was my friend, she was the only one that had the insurance to her car. So she was the only one that could put it in her name. So she's sitting here like tripping because she like, I don't want to put this in my name because if anybody wrecks or anything happens, it's going to be on me, yada, yada. Which, okay, I felt that, cool. But then she had turned around. She was like, because if I do put it in my name, I'm going to get that, the spider. Y'all know them spider, that car, go-kart looking thing that people be riding? Yeah, one of those. Mind y'all, those are a two-seater car. So it's like 8 of us. And they had like 2 more of those, like the 8-seater, like, golf carts. So we was like, why don't we just get that? So like she just kept on bitching and tripping, talking about how like, no, I'm not finna get that and blah, blah, blah. So then she eventually was just like, fuck it, I'ma get it. But if I get it, I'm the only one that's gonna be driving it. And yeah. So we was like, okay, cool. We don't give a fuck who drove it. We just wanted to get it. So we all put in our money and we got the golf cart. So, we having a good time, driving around, blah, blah, blah. So we was all talking or whatever, and we was trying to figure out where to eat that night. So they ended up picking this what was it, this seafood buffet. We ended up going to this seafood buffet, right? Y'all, why when we got to the seafood buffet, I guess Mimi and TT, they mama was supposed to be paying for, like, I guess her and all her kids' food. Mind y'all, she got like freaking like 5, 6 kids. So she was supposed to be paying for everybody's food. I guess when we got up in there, they didn't expect it to be like $80 a person. I mean, what was you expecting? It's a seafood buffet. So the mama was like, oh yeah, we gonna have to go somewhere else. I'm not paying that. So in my head, I wasn't trying to trip on the outside, but in the inside, y'all, I was tripping because I'm like, what the fuck did you expect? And why all your kids, where they money at? Fuck, why is you paying for all of their food? Okay, so I was just like, fuck it. So we ended up going somewhere else. I can't even remember where the hell we even went. So the night going on or whatever, and Mimi, she just seemed like she still had an attitude, and hell, we didn't know why. So hell, I ain't say nothing to her, and then nobody else really say nothing to her, but you could tell she had an attitude. Okay, so then that night was over. So then the next morning, so we all putting on our swimsuits and stuff, finna get ready to go do whatever the hell we was finna do. So y'all, so their cousins, like two of their cousins, ended up coming like a day after we had got there. They had came a little later. So, her cousins came. One of her cousins, he was cute, and you know how you could tell when somebody feeling you when y'all get to, kiki and whatever. Okay, so, me and the cousin, we started, chopping it up. Nothing serious or nothing like that. But y'all, little did I know, Mimi, the big sister, and TT, the little sister, I guess they felt some type of way because the cousin was like flirting with me or whatever and was just trying to be all in my face, But I didn't know this until later on that night, and we gonna get to that. So we just out, enjoying our time. Mind you, Mimi, my friend, she still seemed like she had an attitude all fucking day. So later on that night, D, the little sister friend that I was telling y'all about, she had came to me and she was like, hey, TT, the little sister, she in there calling you a hoe, calling you all type of names, this and that. So mind you, we was on like the outside of the condo. She was telling me this. She had came to tell me. Mind you, me and her was the only ones that was not a part of the family. So she was out here telling me all this, and I'm like, for what? And she was like, because she felt like you was being a hoe and stuff because you was trying to talk to their cousin. So I'm like, okay, and y'all, and I'm not the type of person that like will be on a trip with somebody when you really talking about me, like, behind my back and stuff. I'm not, like, I don't like to play that fake shit. So I went into the condo and I had confronted her about it. All her family was in there too. So I walked in and she facing like with her back towards me, towards the bar. So I walked in and I was like, hey, like, like, why was you calling me a hoe and this and the third? And y'all, the whole time she was like talking to me, she still had her back towards me. So she was like, yeah, I did call you a hoe because you was acting like one. And I'm like, how? Because your cousin was trying to flirt with me? The fuck? So then that's when she had turned around. Now we like this, like in each other's faces. And I'm like, I can't even remember what the hell was said, but I do remember she had like a water bottle in her hand. And she was, so she's sitting here, we going back and forth or whatever. The family's just watching, y'all. The family's just watching. So, y'all, I felt like a little like doink, like on my face. Like it felt like some water or something, because she had a water bottle in her hand, but she had her arm down. So I'm guessing she like tried to throw the water at me, but she missed. And I think a little of it got on me though. Y'all, after that, I'm talking about it was over. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Ari, and I'm back with part 2 of my first time getting to fighting when I was 20. Okay, so just a little recap. I was telling y'all how I went to Florida with my coworker that I used to go to school with for her birthday. Okay, so fast forward to the part when I was telling y'all how D came to me and was telling me how TT, the little sister, was talking shit about me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you know how I was saying when I went to confront her, so we sitting there going back and forth, we in each other's faces now. So, like I said, she had a water bottle in her hand. And I guess she tried to like sling it in my face, but it missed. Like she slung it like on the side of me. But I still felt like a few little droplets on my face. So after I felt that, y'all, when I say I just like completely just blacked out, like I started seeing like flashing colors, like a black and red. I kid y'all not, like I can't even remember like little details of the fight until like after the fact that everything had happened. So mind y'all, we might have been fighting for like 30 seconds. And her whole family, like I said, it wasn't none but her family. So her whole family was in the condo. Me and the other girl D, which was TT, the little sister, her friend. Me and her was the only ones that was not family. So to be honest, that could have went way worse than what it did. So we sitting there, we fighting or whatever. Cause I had swung first, cause you ain't finna try to throw no water on me. That's real disrespectful. So we sitting there going back and forth about 30 seconds. Then somebody had broke it up. So we had got split up. I had went in the room and everybody else was like on the outside. So it was me and the other friend D. We was in the room. She had came in there with me. So, I'm sitting there like mad and shit. Then I had realized that I had on some acrylics. So in the middle of us fighting, I remember I had swung my arm like to the side and it was like a wall right there. So I didn't feel it at the time because of my adrenaline. But when I had looked at my nail, my pinky nail, like it took like when I hit the nail up against the wall, it took the whole nail off, y'all. Like nail bed, like skin just showing. And I ain't feel this shit until after we had already got to fight. And I was like, man, shit. And then, I ain't even gonna sugarcoat nothing or nothing like that. She snatched my wig off. I ain't really give a fuck because I'm like, I'm light-skinned as fuck. After I had looked at myself afterwards, I'm like, I bruised easily. It wasn't nothing nowhere. But I can show y'all the video if y'all want to see it, the after video. So, and she had some braids too. And, I ain't really with like the hair pulling. I just feel like if I'm a fight, my bad, y'all. I had got a notification. It had stopped. But anyways, so afterwards, we sitting in the room. I'm just sitting in there. So I had got all my stuff. Like actually I didn't. I'm lying. Let me go back. So I'm sitting there talking to old girl, whatever. So by this time I had called, I think her mama had came in there and she was, just checking on me stuff, make sure I was okay, which, I was straight or whatever. So then after that, I had called my mama, I was telling her everything that was happening. I was kind of mad, so I was a little frantic at the same time. So she like, calm down, what's going on. So I had just told her everything that had happened and she was like, well, get your stuff. Because I was downstairs, y'all. When after it happened, I had went downstairs, but I left all my stuff upstairs. So I went downstairs. It was me, D, and the cousin, y'all. The cousin that was flirting with me came down there to make sure I was straight, too. Instead of going up there, make sure your cousins was straight, but whatever. Okay, so I was down there. I had called my mama, telling her what was going on and stuff. And she was like, well, just get all your stuff and I'll get you a hotel room so you ain't got to stay in there. So I was like, okay, bet. So the friend D, she wanted to come with me because and shout out to her, but she wasn't fucking with that shit. So I was like, you can come. So I went back upstairs and I'm grabbing all my stuff. So I couldn't find my wallet, my phone charger, or my glasses, these in particular. So I'm looking around, can't find the shit. So I went to they mama and was like, my shit missing, blah, 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 what we finna do. Y'all, she was really trying to manipulate me into thinking that I was tripping. She wasn't like going off on me or nothing, but this is just, my perspective. But yeah, like she was making me feel like, well, she wasn't even making me feel like that, but she was trying to manipulate me into thinking that I was just tripping and how I might have just misplaced the stuff and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, I know exactly where my shit was. And when I came back, it was not there. So when I had grabbed all the rest of my stuff, I went downstairs. I was telling my mama how I can't find my wallet or the rest of my stuff. And so, I couldn't get the hotel room because I ain't had no ID or cards or nothing to get it. So I was like, fuck. So then I ended up going back upstairs, and me and the old girl, the friend, we had both just slept in the room together, and the sisters, they slept with their mama. Okay, so fast forward to the next day. I still could not find my stuff. So I just grabbed up the rest of my stuff, and I had just went. It was, mind you, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And also my mama, she didn't come get me until that next day. But that's only because, it was like late. But she did drive 6 hours to come and get me all the way from Florida that next day. So that next morning when I got up, I got all my stuff and Dee got her stuff too. And I went to the beach for like 3, 4, 5 hours until my mama got there, because I'd be damned if I was gonna stay in that room. The fuck. So then when my mama had finally got here, we had called the police because my stuff was missing, and I know for a fact this shit got stolen. So we called them. They got there. I was telling them everything that had happened or whatever, and he said he was gonna go, check around and stuff, and talk to security people and all that. So he said he was gonna give me a call. Okay, so we ended up like leaving and going to get something to eat and just walking on the beach. And maybe like 2 hours later, the police officer ended up calling me. So I was like, oh shit, So he called me and he was like, is your name Ariana Williams? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, I have your wallet and your glasses here. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, because he knew that I was not in the wrong and I did not do nothing wrong. But anyways, yes, y'all. So they had my stuff. And y'all, you want to know where my shit was? So when I got there, somebody had found my glasses and my wallet by the pool. Mind y'all that our condo was on the 12th floor. So you telling me that these bitches threw my shit over the balcony? And it's so funny because I'm like, you could have just kept it, and I definitely would have never got it back, or just anything else. But I'm glad they did what they did. But So, and surprisingly, y'all, when I got my glasses, they wasn't even broke. Like the lens wasn't popped out or like nothing. It was so crazy, and like all my stuff was still in my wallet. So then after I went and got my stuff, we ended up coming back home. But that's the end of the story. But more of the story is, do not just be going out of town with just anybody. For real. Because it really be people out here that be dying. Like, her whole family could have jumped me or something. And, like, I could have died. Or, just anything crazy. So, y'all stay safe out here. And just let me know if y'all want to hear any more story times. Oh, I had also forgot to mention, y'all, that when I said I had went to the beach that next morning, the cousin came down there, was down there with me the whole time too. So yeah, ain't studying none of that.